I just wanted to go into Costco peacefully. Now, Donald Trump said, and I quote, "A lot of people want me to run for a third term." He smiled. He wasn't joking. He said, "I'm not joking." And now MAGA Republicans are actually trying to make it happen. To every MAGA voter supporting this, are you okay with throwing out the Constitution just because it benefits your guy? Because if this were a Democrat, you'd be burning flags and flipping this country upside down. If you guys didn't know, my name's Alex. I'm a United States Marine Corps veteran. I served honorably during Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom. I am permanently and totally disabled because of that service. I bled for this country, and I took an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States. That oath doesn't expire. The 22nd Amendment exists for a reason. It was created after FDR served 4 terms to stop anyone from holding power too long. It's a safeguard against dictatorship, against tyranny, against exactly what Donald Trump and his loyalists are flirting with. Now, he was quoted saying, "We're very popular. A lot of people would like me to do that. I'm not joking." Now, he's not joking, and neither are the people around him. Republican Representative Andy Ogles actually proposed a bill, and I talked about this, to change the Constitution so Trump could run again. Not for America, just for him, just for Trump. Now, you guys know to do this, they need a 2/3 majority in both the House and the Senate and 3/4 of U.S. states to ratify it. That's not democracy at work. That's a coordinated power grab dressed up in red, white, and blue. So I'll ask you again, why would anyone support this? If Joe Biden suggested this, if Obama had tried this, the MAGA base would have had pitchforks at the White House gates. I served this country, not a party. I didn't risk my life so someone could tear up the Constitution because they're scared to lose. If you believe in America, then you can act like it. Also, friends, if TikTok does get banned here, follow me on my other platforms. Every single link is in the bio because I'm not done talking about this, and neither should you. Also, I can't believe he might be trying this by letting J.D. Vance run for president, supposedly win the presidency, and then supposedly hand it over to him for a third term. Like, this is the lunacy that these are thinking about. God damn it. If this was anyone else, this cult is just out of control. These swallowers, man.
What's happening? What's happening to the veterans? What's happening to the retired generals, colonels of the United States, U.S. Marshal, U.S. Marine, and Air Forces? These people have something to say to Trump, and they aren't pleased with whatever he's doing. We're talking about these people who fought to protect and serve the Constitution of America, the land of America. And these people aren't pleased with whatever Trump is saying. First, one of the reasons why they aren't pleased is quite a number of them, but one of them is Trump wants to run for a third term. Wait. You didn't know that? Alright, Trump is running for a third term, and this is hilarious. They got a lot of smoke for him. They aren't taking this. They fought, some of them got totally disabled. They lost body parts. You see, they sacrificed years of their youth to serve and protect the country of America, the land of America. And Trump is putting all that down. He's destroying what they fought for, and they aren't ready to buy this. I'm talking about the MAGA veterans. These are Trump supporters, but right now they aren't supporting him anymore because of what he's doing. This is not what they fought for. And they say they aren't going to take this just for laughs. They aren't settling for nothing. They have to make their point, and they have to get it straight to Trump. Trump is using his fellow Republicans to change the Constitution so he can run for a third term. If you didn't know, any American president has to run for at most 2 terms. But this is what Trump wants to change. He wants to make it possible for him to run for a third term. But let me ask you, if it was a Democrat who brought this up, do you think they would buy it? I think America would be in chaos. Anyways, let's get into it and let's see what these veterans have to say. The people who fought, sacrificed their lives, sacrificed their time, sacrificed all they had to save and protect and serve America.
So I had to pull over and do a video because I got to address something. Debbie and I live in the state of Indiana, Northwest Indiana to be exact, because I don't hide from you bottom feeding that like to make idle threats. I have now just passed up probably 7 Trump flags. The election was over November 6th. But all you're doing is showing me, who has 2 flags in shadow boxes in my home office from my service from September 2nd, 1986 to September 30th, 2006. And for you 2-teeth, 0 brain cell DMMFs, that means 20 years and 28 days during 2 wars. Operation Desert Shield, Desert Storm, and the Iraq War. Just in case you forgot. You know, you that never even served in the Salvation Army. So you're still flying your degenerate, bottom-feeding, racist, homophobic, misogynistic, treasonous traitor, Trump paraphernalia. You know what's so interesting? If you go down to that fat, gaudy club, you know, where he had all them classified documents where he walked because of piece of Judge Cannon, you won't find any of your down there. None of your memorabilia is down there. Only pictures of him with Kim Jong-un and people like that. And Putin. Remember Putin and him in Helsinki in 2018? When that fat stood at the podium and said he asked Putin about the election. And Putin said he didn't do anything. And what happened? Trump said he believed them over our intelligence. Dan Coates, the DNI at the time, look it up because you don't know facts. His jaw dropped. What they should have done is gassed up Air Force One and made that fat orange bastard that ain't seen 215 pounds since he come out of his mother's polluted womb. And if that racist Nazi father of his friend would have pulled out, we wouldn't have this motherfucker today. They should have gassed up Air Force One and made his ass swim back. You know, like when he was sarcastic about the first plane crash because they fired qualified air traffic controllers. And when the reporter asked him, is he going to go out to where it's at? He said, where do you want me to swim there? He couldn't swim. He couldn't. He's a beach whale. Throw some water on his fucking blowhole. But you don't like to be called racist, misogynistic, homophobic, and treasonous traitors. But what the do you think you are when you voted for one and you still support one? No matter how much benefits of your shit that he cuts, no matter how many jobs of yours that he cuts, and he says, Biden, it was Biden. You're like, yeah, it was Biden. Because you got 2 teeth and 0 brain cells. You're a cult. And every chance I get on my platform, you pieces of shit, I'm going to call you out for the garbage that you are. And I'm a veteran and you can't stand it. You goddamn right I'm a ally of the African American community. I'm a ally of the LGBTQIA plus community. Because you don't get a choice how you want to treat people. We're going to call you out every time. Every time. You this Saturday, next Saturday, and every Saturday that you breathe the same air that I do. Donald Trump, J. Just a D. Dick Vance, who called him Hitler, and that's the only thing I'll ever agree with JD on. But it's all forgiven, right? You rotten 2 teeth, 0 brain cells, today, tomorrow, and for the remainder of your lives.
Literally, all the proof. Even the VA is apologizing because this entire situation is messed up and they could not stop it fast enough to make any effect onto this month's payment. I think by next month, things will probably be okay. Because like I said, they really messed with the wrong person. And I don't mean it like I'm going to go get them, because I will. But I'm literally a disabled person. And my disabilities are not even being questioned or evaluated. It's literally just the type of rating I have, because one of the first things that they're trying to eliminate, specifically with Project 2025, is unemployability, the unemployability marker. They say they're trying to do it for people that are of retirement age, but that's not true. They're going through and checking people's unemployability. A lot of people are going to start getting more requests for them to turn in paperwork to prove that they aren't working, or that they're not committing fraud, supposedly. But the thing is, what's crazy is like VA disability, depending on the state you're in, 100% is not enough to live with a family of 4, right? And having kids. Better yet, having to pay for your own medical care when the VA, like right now, the VA is refusing to provide my treatments that I was receiving from a different state now that I've moved to the state I'm in now. Like, I literally just paid off like $6,000 in medical debt. This is so wild. And I'm like prepping to have surgery to remove an organ that was injured. And it's just wild. And I'm postpartum, and my husband had to take FMLA leave. We had to cash out our savings and everything so that he could help while I recovered. Yeah, then you see like my comment section when I talk about this. I did another video when it first happened and I got the first phone call, and all you see are all these people calling me a liar, or telling me that I'm a bad person, or that I shouldn't have anything to worry about if I didn't do anything wrong, except that there is something to worry about. There was no due process. I didn't even receive a letter. The letter I have was dated March 20th. With the effective date of March 1st. There was no warning about anything. There was no chance to fix it. They just took half of my pay. The only warning I had, a call from a DAV rep, which I don't even understand how that man was in my file since I never gave him permission. There's so much going on here that is wrong.
No, Republicans have warned us for 10 years what would happen if we hired people based on their skin color and their gender instead of their merit. And I am terrified to say that they were right, because this right here is 4-star General Lloyd Austin. He was not hired due to his gender or skin color. He was hired on merit. And as the Secretary of Defense for Joe Biden's entire tenure as president, General Austin never once texted top secret military plans to a journalist 2 hours before an attack. And this is Admiral Lisa Franchetti. She served the United States Navy for 40 years. Just like General Austin, she never once in those 40 years accidentally texted top secret military plans to a journalist 2 hours before an attack. And this is General C.Q. Brown, also hired and promoted on merit. He served the United States Air Force for 41 years, including 3,000 flight hours and 130 hours in combat. And you'll never believe it, but in those 41 years of service, he never once accidentally texted top secret military plans to a journalist 2 hours before an attack. And this is Pete Hegseth, selected by Donald Trump to replace General Austin as Secretary of Defense for reasons we can both see and understand. And you wouldn't believe it, but within 8 weeks of his confirmation, he accidentally texted top secret military plans about an attack to a journalist 2 hours before the attack.
Veterans, we're going to the scoreboard tonight to make it easy for you. In 2022, the most important piece of legislation for veterans was passed, the PACT Act. Promised to address Comprehensive Toxins Act. It's going to give roughly 6.5 million combat veterans a monthly payment of $1,000 to $3,800 a month for life, getting over 1 million veterans off the streets. But I am not so sure that veterans actually understand what happened. So we're going to take a look at the scoreboard. In 2022, when the act passed Congress, it voted on the House of Representatives. Before it went to the Senate, it passed by a vote of 256 yeas and 174 nays. And I would like you to take a very good look at that, veterans, because your eyes are not deceiving you. Every single member of the Democratic Party voted for your interest, and 174 members of what we used to call the Republican Party voted against your interest. This may be news to many of you. I know many of you may not think that that's the case because your buddies tell you that that's not the case, but the facts are 84% of the Republican Party voted against that benefit. In here, we got Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House. He hasn't done anything for you. Jim Jordan's in here. Of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, Brian Donalds, all of the talking pieces. Their job is to create chaos, so you don't even look to see what they voted. I'm not even sure if you knew if you voted for them or not. If you voted for a Republican in the House of Representatives in the last election, you're a veteran, you got an 84% chance that you voted for somebody who voted against you. That cannot happen anymore. We have special elections coming up, veterans, in heavy veteran areas. There's only one vote. The Democrats are the only party who has been protecting the veterans for the last decade. It used to be pretty even split. These guys, their only job now, it's a fact, their only job, and you can prove it through legislation, is to pass tax cuts and confirm judges. That's it. This is the tax cut over here that they're proposing. It's 112 cups, which symbolizes $11.2 trillion worth of tax cuts. That cannot happen. $11.2 trillion worth of tax cuts. The green cups on the bottom are the $700 billion that it would take to fund the PACT Act in the same amount of time. I can't make this up. I got 174 people who will not vote for your 7 green cups, but the same 174 people are absolutely bet your house, bet your kids' college education they're going to vote for this $11.2 trillion tax cut. Mind-blowing. Once you see the scam, you can't unsee it. Every single thing that they do in their chaos is always about that. Veterans are only being protected by one party. This week, Senator Blumenthal in the Senate offered a very simple amendment that would protect these benefits through all this chaos, guaranteeing that they get funded while DOGE and all these cuts happen. And all 52 senators voted no, every one of them. Then you throw in the fact that they want to fire another 300,000 employees at the VA. Like, if your application isn't in, or if your application isn't processed, how are you going to get your money? There has to come a time where you stop listening to your buddies and you start looking at who's voting for you. Facts matter. Because in the classroom, cups and cans talk and bullshit walks. Prove me wrong. Show me some legislation that the Republicans have put on that gives money to military families that need it. Show me. Until then, I hope you had a good day. I hope you have a great night. And remember, I'm always rooting for you.
Thank you for watching Great Minds Blacks.